Hey guys, so I have some Long Johns here. So I couldn't decide whether to go to Long John's or Wendy's over here. And I was like, fish sounds pretty good. So I've got my heat on because I'm freaking freezing and it's cold. Got embarrassed because whenever I pulled in to pay, this window, like in the wintertime, freezes. Like it's weird, like it don't literally freeze like the window, but there's something whenever it starts getting cold, it's like, it's not like now. See how it goes real slow? And where I hadn't rolled it down, it was like extremely going like, I mean, like slow like this. It was barely going. And I was like, oh my Lord. I was a bit embarrassed. But anyways, I'm going to turn this off here since I got it warm in here. So I got the Long John's sampler platter, and then I got a Twinkie because it's a fried Twinkie, and I saw it and I'm like, you know, that sounds pretty amazing. So I got it in this, and then I just got the variety sampler, of course, with all of my, you know, dips and such, because, you know, you gotta have your stuff to dip your food in. So let me get all this hair back here in the back. And so all of this goodness, I got, let me see if I can get this a little further down. I got, I know y'all can't see this, but I got onion rings, and it comes with fish, shrimp, butterfly shrimp, the big ones, and popcorn shrimp. So, I don't like that angle. Kinda, I don't know. Okay, so let's start with some fish first because this just looks really good. So I got up this morning, cleaned a little bit, and I was doing some singing videos. Like, I was just looking up Christmas songs, and I started singing Mary Did You Know and Oh Holy Night. Christmas songs can get you in a really good mood. Like, you know, like if you think of what Christmas is about, like baby Jesus, and just like, you know, how it all wrapped up, it can just really uplift your spirit. And this morning I was really feeling it. This stuff's hot. Could you imagine being Mary and like getting pregnant like that and then giving birth to Jesus, the Messiah? It's just, it's like you can't think about how it would be. It was just crazy. You know, there's a lot of things in life you can't like fathom that could happen, like how God works miracles. And I'm cold. And like you can't see the Lord, but you know that He's there. And you know, like you hear about all of the stories that was told about, you know, baby Jesus in the manger, and just it goes on and on. Because you gotta have faith to believe that there is a God. Because, you know, the Bible verse, I think it's like, now faith is the evidence of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So when you think on that stuff and you know it's real, could you imagine just being there? You know, could you imagine, like, the woman with the issue of blood, and nobody would be around her or nothing, and but she had heard about Jesus coming there, and she was like, you know, if I can just touch, you know, the hem of his garment, I'll be made whole. You know, that was faith. And you know, the same things that happened back then can happen today. And I think about, you know, how the Lord's moved in my life whenever I've been sick, and, you know, at times when I pretty much died, you know, with my heart and stuff, you know, God spared me. And I prayed, I said, Lord, the last time on that ambulance, when I was on there before I had my heart surgeries, I've had 5. And I remember praying a prayer, and I was so scared because I was on there by myself. And I was laying there on the cot, and my heart kept going higher and higher. They called Harriman Hospital, and they were like, no center on the Park West. They turned the ambulance thing on, the siren was going, and I remember my heart just racing and racing, and it wasn't getting any slower. It just kept going up, 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 like it was the worst feeling ever. And I remember in that split second, I was praying, and I said, Lord, I said, I don't want to die. And I said, but if I'm going to die, forgive me of my sins, if, you know, all of my wrongdoings, if I've ever done anything wrong. And I started, like, I was talking to my mama. I said, well, Mama, I guess I'm going to meet you and be with you. And because I was going in and out, like, my heart was up so high, like, I felt like I was leaving my body. And I started praying that, and I remember telling the Lord, I was like, Lord, I don't want to leave my kids. I don't want to leave my babies. I know what it's like not to have a mom, and I don't want them to have to go through that mess. While I was praying that prayer, I could feel my mama come over the cot with me, like her presence, and I was so scared. But when she got in that cot, I was fine. But before that, he had to give me this shot. He gave me 2 of them. And it's like a shot that stops your heart, and it was still going. And they were talking like if they didn't get it down, like I could have all this brain damage and damage within my body and stuff. And I remember still being scared and stuff, and even when I got there, they still couldn't get it down. Finally, eventually it just stopped. The SVT did. They had to like keep me and stuff. But like, I remember I've seen the Lord move, you know, within my own life. And they done all the studies, like they done like an MRI and like other stuff about my brain and like my heart and stuff like that, ultrasound and stuff. And the Lord spared me, like it didn't damage nothing in my body. And you know, I believe, you know, like that Bible verse that says, ask and it shall be given, seek and you shall find, knock and the door will be open. You know, I believe that God could heal me, and I believe that God could, you know, watch over me. But during that same time of death, like I could feel it so near, and I could feel my body leaving. I could feel my spirit and my body just leaving my body. It was crazy. It was the craziest feeling ever. But I think the Lord knew that, you know, I had faith. It might not have been much, but I did believe, and I could feel his presence. And, you know, I just couldn't imagine seeing the things that God done back in them days. And if people would have that same faith that they had, like, that crap, like, it could happen here. Like, it could happen. But what it is, if you have any bit of doubt, it hinders it. It's just something to think about. And then I was listening to this song. It kind of sparked everything, what I'm talking about all the miracles and stuff, and baby Jesus, and you know how it all began and stuff. There's a song that this mass choir does, and Jason Crabb sings it with them, and it's called, I think, Worth or something. I shared it on my Facebook, and I totally didn't get my sides. I'll be back in a minute. I've got to go get my sides. So I had to get my slaw. I had my onion rings, but I didn't get my slaw. But anyways, as I was talking about the song with Jason Crabb and the choir, it's called Worth. And it's talking about how, like, the Lord thought we were, like, that the Lord thought that we were worth to die for. I couldn't get that out. I was getting tongue-tied. But don't ever think that you're not worthy or you don't have worth, because you do. You and I, God's saying that we were worth for Him to come here to this earth and to go through the world and to heal and deliver and set free. And He thought of us whenever He was dying on the cross, you know. He thought that we were worth, you know, to die for, to give us a new life and to be able to live with Him one day. You'll just have to look up that song. I think it's called Worth. But, you know, God sees each and every one of us as special. We're gold in His eyes. And so, don't ever think different. But I had a good time this morning whenever I was cleaning and I was putting on that music. And it feels good when the Lord sweeps by your spirit. Feels so good. He is so good to us. And even when you're down and out, trust me, I've been there a lot of times. Even when you're down and out, He's still there. And believe it or not, He's still carrying you. But anyways, this is a lot of food. I'm gonna try one of these. Man, I keep freezing up in here. I better just leave this running. I didn't know Long John's made onion rings. So we're gonna give these a try. They're actually good. They just need some ketchup. Pretty good. I gotta go home and I think I'm gonna make ribs tonight. I'm gonna put it on the crock pot. So, I want to eat a little of this. That tea is just right. It's not too sweet. It's just right. Sometimes I get it and it's like you can't even drink it. It's too sweet. And this heat is making me sleepy in here. Long John slaw is always good. Love it. I'm not going to get too full because I want to try that Twinkie donut. Or the Twinkie fried thingy-majig or whatever it's called. Oh, but first we gotta take a little bite of this. Can't forget her hush puppies. Okay, guys. We are fried Twinkie. I really don't even know why I got this. It just looked and sounded good. I don't in particular like Twinkies. But it looked good on the picture, so I'm gonna give it a try. So here we go. Mmm. That is good. That is so good. It tastes so different compared to like a regular Twinkie. I'm trying to think what it tastes like. Oh, I know now. You know those cinnamon toast things at Sonic that you dip in with, you know, syrup? That's what they taste like. Just like them. Mmm. Stuff is really good. I've been listening to Faith Hill and Tim McGraw. Amazing CD. Man, this is delightful. This is so good. Mmm. So I'm gonna go and finish this up, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.